everyone. So today's tutorial is, I'm just going to, oh, that's better, got the whole mat in view, is going to be on the foot position for Warrior 2 and how that translates across to lots of different postures. So often when I'm sequencing my classes, you'll find that we go from Warrior 2 to Reverse Warrior to Extended Side Angle to Triangle Pose, and a lot of these poses have exactly the same foot position. So if you can nail that foot position in place in a way that feels good for you, then it will enable you to flow much more easily between those poses. So without further ado, we'll come to the mat. So if we were to take Warrior 2 on our right side, we would have the front foot facing the short edge of the mat and all 5 toes pointing straight towards the short edge of the mat. And then we're going to step the back leg long behind us and bring your arms out parallel to the floor. And imagine if you had some string wrapped around your wrists and you dropped your string towards the floor. We want our ankles to be roughly underneath that string. And check that the left toes are pointing straight towards the long edge of the mat. So 5 left toes pointing straight towards the long edge of the mat. And then bend the right knee and bring the right knee so that it's stacked up on top of the right ankle. And from here we can have a play around. So often you'll hear in yoga classes people talking about heel to heel or heel to arch alignment, and that's absolutely great. So let's have a little play with that. So bring your heels in line with each other so there's a straight line between both heels. Bend that right knee, stack your right knee on top of the right ankle and see how that feels. Does that feel okay? Straight and strong through the back leg, lifting up that back kneecap, so really nice and strong through there. And we're corkscrewing the right foot into the floor, so we're switching on the inner and the outer thigh. Now, we can play around with that alignment a little bit. We can have heel toe the right foot a little bit further out to the right. That's going to create a larger surface area with which to balance on. So it's just going to give us a little bit of a wider distance between the heels. So how does that feel? Does that feel better? Does it feel worse? For me, it feels worse, but it might feel better for you. Everyone's different. So heel to heel, I think, is my kind of happy place. Try heel to arch by just heel toeing the right foot over to the left so that the heel is in line with the arch of the left foot. How does that feel? That feels okay to me as well. But which is your happy place? So have a little heel toe the right foot to the right, to the left, and just say, yep, and then look down, where are you? So yeah, heel to heel for me is a good alignment. And then we can increase the stretch required from this pose and also the strength required for this position by lengthening it. So if the back leg was to go back a little bit more, then I have to sink more deeply into that front leg, and I really have to work hard with that back leg to keep the position stable and strong. So for me, as I'm here now, that feels too much. I can feel like a bit of tension in my lower back, can feel really deep stretch across the inner right thigh, and the left leg's having to work very hard to keep me stable here. So I'm just going to heel toe or bring that left leg a little bit back in, and it's finding that balance between strength and effort and that sense of calmness and focus and ease in the pose. So we want to be working hard, but we don't want to be forcing our body. So for me, it is about that traditional sort of distance apart of wrists down to ankles. That's about right for me, but play around with your distance now. So once you've got your distance and once you've got your width in a happy place that feels good in your body, that's when we can do all kinds of wonderful things with our upper body. So obviously the traditional Warrior 2, got our shoulders over our ribs over the top of our hips, arms are parallel, and we're gazing out over the right fingertips and making sure that the right thigh and the right knee are tracking in line with the right toes. So that's our traditional Warrior 2. And then often you're finding in poses with the eye sequence that we'll go from here into extended side angle, or we might go into triangle pose, but we don't actually change the position of the foot. So obviously for triangle, we're going to straighten the right leg, but we're not actually changing the position of the feet at all. We might go into a humble warrior, back up, but the feet all stay in the same position. So the hips are almost parallel towards the long edge of the mat as well. I forgot to mention that. So just to recap what we've already talked about, in our Warrior 2 position, 5 toes pointing straight towards the short of the mat, edge of the mat, foot nice and straight, right thigh, right knee pointing in the same direction as the right toes, right knee is stacked on top of the right ankle, left leg straight and strong, left toes pointing straight towards the long edge of the mat, hips almost parallel towards the long edge of the mat. And then we're stacking our shoulders, ribs and hips on top of each other. And then in Warrior Two, the arms are parallel, gazing out over the right hand. So have a little play. Oh God, I've been holding that for a while. Have a little play around with that and tell me what you think. But essentially that foot position is the same for Warrior Two, Humble Warrior, Reverse Warrior, lots of different warrior poses. And what else was I thinking? Extended side angle, triangle, we straighten the leg, but again, the feet stay in the same position. So you can't see down here, but Charlie's come to get involved with this video. Yeah, so let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'm very happy to answer, and I will catch up with you all very soon. Take care. Bye.